Secretary General, dear Goran, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, I would like first of all to welcome you in Bucharest to the 6th annual meeting of the Regional Cooperation Council. It is my great pleasure to address you today in my capacity of chairmanship in office of the Southeast European Cooperation Process, CCP. I came here today, as a matter of fact, only 1 hour ago, directly from the beautiful city of Varna, where the 30th meeting of the Council of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of the Black Sea Economic Cooperation Organization took place. And speaking about this organization, it gives me great pleasure to welcome the presence inter alia at our meeting of Ambassador Traian Chebeleu, Deputy Secretary General of BSEC. From the very beginning, I would like to underline the excellent cooperation, on my turn, we had with the Secretary General of the RCC and with his team during our mandate of the helm of the CCP. I believe that a close cooperation and coordination between CCP and RCC could only bring added value to the regional cooperation in Southeast Europe by developing projects and actions properly tailored to the region's need. By establishing the Regional Cooperation Council 6 years ago, the Southeastern Europe has made significant steps forward in responding to the necessity of reforming the regional cooperation frameworks in order to adapt them to the present challenges the region confronts with. The most important advantage of the regional cooperation laid in the capacity of rebuilding the confidence among the countries in the region after many years of conflicts by gathering their representatives in a common framework and by promoting joint projects. Due to the cooperation within the regional frameworks, the countries of the region have made significant progress that narrowed the gap between them and the EU. The actions of the RCC and CCP should mutually reinforce each other, bearing in mind the fact that they serve the same goals and values. In this respect, it will be essential to elaborate and implement projects that, through their results, will further narrow the distance between the region and the European Union. In the last 12 months, since we took over the chairmanship in office of the CCP from our colleagues in Skopje, we paid special attention to furthering the regional ownership and the regional leadership, bearing in mind their importance for creating the necessary conditions for a better cohesion and development of the region. We consider that an enhanced coordination among different regional cooperation structures could represent an added value for fulfilling the critical objectives of the region, while an increased visibility for the CCP activities could ensure a stronger perception and a better awareness of CCP at the European and international level. The experience of 2 decades of regional cooperation developed by the countries of the Central and Southeastern Europe led to the development of the macro-regional concept. If we look on the map of our continent, we can see that with the adoption of the future Adriatic-Ionian strategy foreseen at the end of 2014, the EU strategies for the Baltic, Danube, and Adriatic-Ionian regions will cover, together, the vast majority of CCP states. The macro-regional strategies can build upon CCP experience and thus upgrade the level of CCP cooperation. The existence of solid European regional cooperation formats such as CCP or RCC provides us the opportunity to step up the gear in developing regional-related core projects through the newly created macro-regional strategies. Building upon existing regional cooperation formats and fora, which have particular relevance in the context of the enlargement process of the European Union, including those opening towards the Black Sea, will broaden the horizon of the Danube strategy with benefits for the entire macro-region. By cooperating at the regional level, the non-EU countries are getting closer to the EU. But if you want to speed up this process, we must give to non-EU countries the necessary instruments. This means giving them wider access to EU funds, not in terms of volume, but in terms of access to relevant financing instruments. And here, the Regional Cooperation Council does have a special role by developing projects meant to support the countries of the region in advancing the European integration process, making thus use of the opportunities European Commission offers through the IPA II programs. The EU member states of the region could also play a critical role in this respect by providing to their neighbors the expertise gained in their own accession process. Only by working together in a well-coordinated manner, avoiding overlapping and filling gaps, we could achieve our common goal, the European and Euro-Atlantic integration of the whole region. Last year's showed the importance of having a stronger partnership between RCC and CCP in order to adequately respond to the challenges and priorities of the region. So the RCC should continue to provide through its executive tools to CCP the necessary support for underpinning the political role as the voice of the region. In the meantime, CCP should further offer to RCC the political guidelines so to support the pragmatic role of RCC, the developing of concrete and result-oriented projects, taking into account the interests and concerns of each country. The most important advantage of regional cooperation lays on the capacity of increasing confidence among the countries of the region by gathering them in a common framework and by developing joint projects. Due to the cooperation within the regional frameworks, the countries of the region have made significant progress in their way to the European Union. Enlargement to the countries in southeastern Europe should remain a priority on the EU agenda in the following years and be reflected accordingly within the new institutional configuration at EU level. The EU's approach towards the enlargement countries should be based on conditionality, but also on a substantial support offer. Romania stands ready to further support these countries' advancement on the European path through the provision of accession expertise and technical assistance. 11 years after the Thessaloniki summit, which confirmed the European perspective of the Western Balkan countries, our colleagues in Zagreb have joined the EU. Administrations from Belgrade and Podgorica are progressing with the accession negotiations. Skopje is a candidate advancing on the reform process. We look forward to Tirana receiving the candidate status at the upcoming General Affairs Council. Hope that Sarajevo will also step up efforts to advance on its European path. We also support further progress in the relations of Ankara with Brussels. We are ready to share the experience we have gathered in the region as chair in office of CCP. During our mandate, we have constantly followed the synchronization of the regional cooperation within this format with the efforts of the countries in the area to meet the standards and objectives of European and Euro-Atlantic integration. This is also the rationale behind focusing our chairmanship in office agenda on activities related to the accession negotiations, chapters 23 and 24. As set forth in the Charter of CCP, our common objective is to enhance cooperation in order to be able to tackle together the challenges of our region is facing. Networking and increased cooperation at the regional and European level are especially necessary if we want to plan and prepare an integrated future for our countries. In this context, allow me to highlight the important contributions of all participants and partners from outside the region, which delivered continuous political and financial support for the RCC activity. We will definitely need their cooperation in the next period in order to fulfill the established targets. I would also want to mention that one of the priorities of the Romanian chairmanship in office of the CCP was to promote, adding to the synchronization of the regional good cooperation with the EU enlargement agenda, the inclusive approach. And I think this was proved by our facts and proposals under the Romanian chairmanship. We count in this regard also on the RCC Secretary General's strong commitment, proved by its actions and reflected in the annual report that we'll endorse today. All the valuable efforts undertaken by the RCC team in certain fields are also very important for the EU path of the concerned countries in the region. I thank you very much for your attention.